Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Shazam Fury of the Gods Shazam. And technically this figure did come out last year, but it also says on Amazon that's coming out January 15th, but it came out, early on the McFarlane Toys store. And I'm really bummed that I got him, after I made my top 10 list, because I honestly think I haven't done any modifications to him or anything, and I think this figure probably would have made it in the top 10. I'm going to be real honest, just to get that right out of the way. So without further ado, I'm going to get into showing you guys how good this Chuck figure actually is. So going over what he comes with, obviously, of course, he comes with the standard McFarlane base stand, as always. And you can see that he does have a fist and an open hand, but he also comes with a set of each, which is really nice. It's always nice when we get a full set of hands instead of just, one of each. It's always a bonus for sure. And then he also does come with a pair of lightning effects, which are really nice. They have the kind of wrap around here, so they can wrap around his hands, no problem. And they are kind of a harder plastic too, so they're not going to kind of flop around like the lightning effects that have come with the Marvel Legends Thor in the past. So that's definitely a huge bonus. The only unfortunate thing about this figure is he doesn't come with any alternate heads. And that was something that I really loved about the Mafex figure, because that figure was garbage. That figure is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking with his arm joints, but he can't move his arms past, like, this high. I don't know why, but the head sculpts on that were fantastic. Unfortunately, they are too small to actually fit on this one. Otherwise, this figure would be, perfect. Because, honestly, taking a closer look at his face sculpt, it looks great. It looks just like Zachary Levi. I think it looks great. Certain angles, well, his eyes are too light, but certain angles, it kind of looks like the main villain from The Man in the High Castle. Not quite sure what the problem is there, but might be able to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I might repaint his eyes because they're supposed to be darker, because Zachary Levi has brown eyes, not like very, very light, almost green eyes. But he just looks a little bored. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it would have been nice to have like a smirk or something, something that was very Shazam-y. But while we're taking a look at it, let's take a look at the detail on the figure. And as I already showed, the head sculpt, of course, but he also has a very nice cape, which has some gold trim around the bottom. Not on the inside, though, which is not too big of a deal. I don't really care that much. I may end up getting a wired cape for this. I haven't decided yet, because the cape on this is actually not bad. It doesn't hinder the figure. It doesn't make him fall over. He's not back heavy or anything. It's a pretty solid, rubber cape. It's really nice. As for the actual texture on his suit as well, it just looks so good. They did such a phenomenal job with this. I like the new lightning bolt. It's a very different suit than what he had in the first movie, which I know a lot of people are actually kind of upset about, which I like this suit. I think this suit looks pretty cool. I loved the first suit. I think that one was like perfect comic accurate, And this one, they did kind of movieify it, I guess, so to speak. It looks kind of like, I don't even know if it necessarily looks like the New 52 version, but it just, it looks a little bit updated, I guess. And he's got some kind of dark red going throughout the sides of the suit as well to give it a little bit more detail. And then he has, of course, the gold gauntlets and boots, but they actually have some silver this time around. And I really like how they did the symbol on his chest. I think that looks really cool, because it starts orange and then it slowly fades into yellow in the middle to give that sort of glowing effect, which I think is really nice. But he also has, if I can kind of get it to focus here, has these really cool, like, the cape buckle things. They almost look like lion heads, which is pretty cool. I like that. But it might not supposed to be a lion. It may actually supposed to be a tiger, to as an Easter egg to whatever character that is, which I think it's the Wizard, right? Isn't like the Wizard's other form a tiger? Am I remembering the Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam movie correctly? That's like my only knowledge of a tiger. The paint on this figure is great. The only thing that I like, other than the head sculpt kind of being a little bored, if you look, he kind of has too much red going on, I feel like. So I may end up hitting this with some nail polish remover just to get rid of some of that red that's going on. And now onto his articulation. His head can go up that far, so you can actually get some pretty good flying poses out of it, which I think is really awesome. Can go down a little bit too, since, Zachary Levi is a tall guy, so he might need to look down on some characters. Some good tilt, rotation. His shoulders go out and up. Is that far they go? Yes. Go out about that far. Not bad. Of course, butterfly joints make it so his arms go that far. He's got swivel at the bicep. Double jointed elbows that go back that far. Pretty good. Standard McFarlane joints at the wrists, which looks so much nicer now. They're not just straight up ball joints anymore. It's really nice, so they can rotate whatever direction you'd like. As for his torso, without my modifications, it can go that far forward. And whenever I'm done modifying it, his head will be able to touch his kneecaps, because, you know, for some reason, McFarlane, I don't know why they don't do it. They really should, because it just makes to fit their figures so much better. But that's all right. You know, diaphragm joint, of course. Bottom, both of them. You get all sorts of rotation out of it. You know how it goes. Legs go out that far. Can I actually push it even more? Yep. Nice. You can do the splits, which is really good. Can go that far forward, but it does start to kick out a little bit. And then back can go pretty far as well. Got a little bit of swivel at the joint up inside the hip itself. Knees can go back that far. No boot swivel or anything, but then, of course, standard McFarlane joints at the ankles, so they can go down that far, up that far, ankle pivot, and then toe joint. And also, if you do get this figure, be careful with the ankle joints, because mine were paint locked, and I was terrified that they were going to break. So just, you know, always take caution. And now onto some size comparisons. Here he is next to the Mafex Hush Superman and the Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Captain America. This actually doesn't look too bad. I think this actually kind of scales pretty well. You probably could do some trick of the camera stuff and honestly maybe make a 6-inch Shazam if you really wanted to kind of trim into the legs a little bit. And then here he is next to the Jada Toys Wolfman and the Mezco Netflix Daredevil. I think this looks really good as well if you wanted to have him, you know, fight some monsters. I think you could definitely have him square up against them. Or if you wanted to have him take on some Mezcos. I think I would love to see Mezco tackle a Shazam. I think that they would do a great job. I mean, obviously, I know they made the comic one in the past. It'd be cool if they made a movie one, but I'd be super down for them to remake a comic one. I think they need to go back and make, like, Green Arrow and Shazam again, Black Adam, Reverse Flash, the Flash, you know. I think there are so many characters they need to go back and do, because those figures are just, you know, so much money now, and they're not as good quality as their current stuff. And then last but not least, of course, I had to make this the final comparison. Here he is next to the McFarlane Toys Black Adam movie, Black Adam and Dr. Fate. And this looks so fucking awesome. I love this. I love having Shazam and Black Adam together from the movies. I know it's such a shame that we won't get to see them on screen together. At least we won't get to see The Rock's version and Zachary Levi's version, as far as we know. And then Dr. Fate, you know, of course, another Magic character, also was in Black Adam, of course. These look so good together. I love this. And it really is bittersweet to have them all together on the shelf because, you know, of course, with everything going on. Oh, what could have been. It's a real bummer, but hey, you know, we got to stay positive. We got to have hope. I think this scales pretty well. I think The Rock actually should be a little bit taller, maybe. But his legs are a little bit wider of a stance since his thighs alone could kill Shazam. Overall, I really enjoy this figure. As I said at the start, if I had gotten this figure sooner, he absolutely would have been in the top 10 of the year, for sure. I haven't even done the articulation mods to it, and the face, I haven't taken any acetone to it yet to try and get rid of that little bit of too much red going on. But under lighting, it's not bad. And also, I mean, just in normal light, it's not too terrible, but it's just something that kind of bugs me personally a little bit. The suit detail looks good. I'm excited for the movie. It's kind of hard to be super excited, you know, for this and The Flash and Aquaman, because we know that it's kind of not really going anywhere, you know, but I'm still excited. But the articulation on this figure is great. I really wish that they would give us some other characters from Shazam, because it would be cool to get, you know, Mary, and it'd be cool to get Mary Marvel, and I feel like you could probably reuse a lot of Shazam's body to make, like, Pedro and, you know, the rest of the gang. I feel like you definitely could reuse some parts and get some mileage out of the suit. I think that would be pretty cool. But I don't know how well those would do, I guess. But I personally would like to have them. I think that would be cool to have the whole Shazamly. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much more that I can say about this figure. I think it's a great figure. And if you're a big fan of Zachary Levi like I am, or if you're a big fan of Shazam, and Zachary Levi's portrayal of Shazam, this figure is a must-have. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.